Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is Out of Bounds. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia, with my two best friends, Bogman and Welsh. And it's all of you hanging out on our Twitch, twitch.tv/fantasypros. That's the place to be. And, of course, we're giving away free stuff. Check it out. This week's giveaway. I think we only got like 24 hours for this one. It's the championship ring. Let's take a look at this bad boy. It is from Trophy Smack. It's fantastic. Again, Trophy Smack, the #1 destination for epic fantasy football trophies, belts, everything they've got there. And again, if you subscribe to our Twitch, use your Amazon Prime, $5, get rid of those nasty commercials. You get a 1.5 times odds boost of winning the championship ring. And of course, shout out to all of you watching on the YouTube channel. Before we get into the news of the day, everything that happened in week 10, looking ahead to week 11, we got some breaking news we're going to talk about, a head coaching change, a possible return of a superstar, but our own Mike Mayer just got an addition to his family. I don't know if you saw the Slack chats going around, Welsh and Boggs, but shout out to our good friend Mike Mayer, who we've worked with for many, many years. So another kid. Welsh, you've got 2, I've got 2. He's got 3 now. I think that's just a terrible decision. Right?
I don't know what his worst decision he's made. He's a great ranker, but not a great decision maker. I would like to point out I am technically the better friend because in the Slack chat, I congratulate him before you. So it's you just found out about the news. So better friend.
I texted him personally on my phone instead of Slack.
But when was that?
How's everyone doing?
But I still, I'm going to call it. You know what? Let's call Mike
Mayer right now. I found out right now. That's when I found out. So, worst friend.
This is why we're here. We're the worst friends anybody could possibly ask for. All right. Again, if you're here with us on our Twitch, make sure you're dropping your questions, your fact and fictions. We're going to get to those. We want to take all your questions with the asses. We're the asses. You ask the questions. We're going to do all that. So please drop your questions about fantasy, about pickups, about trades, about impact of some more injuries that are happening too, what you saw last week, what you want to see this week, but fact and fiction too, a big one that we were going to do with you guys later here in the show. So let's start here with Brian Daboll, because that is the story. Brian Daboll out as head coach of the New York Giants. Not surprising. Last week, a story broke in local media in New York area where I live that apparently he almost got fired on the plane ride back from Denver a couple weeks ago. That the ownership was done, and I guess they said, no, let's not be hasty here.
The government shutdown kept his job going because nobody could actually fire him.
So. The government shutdown kept me in Florida at the Orlando airport for 8.5 hours on Saturday.
Probably kept him his job for 8 more hours. They're like, listen, he's got to get off the plane before we do this.
Maybe. But here's a fascinating stat, and I saw this too. Against the Cowboys, Broncos, and Bears, the Giants had a 92%, 99%, and 96% chance of winning in the fourth quarter. They lost all 3 of those games. The chances of that happening, 1 in 60,000. So, Welsh, why don't you kick things off here? Obviously, kind of a weird mix, right? Because Jackson Dart, I think you found your franchise quarterback. But now, of course, here we are in that cycle where a new coach is going to come in. What does that look like? And, who is going to take over possibly next year for the New York Giants, and what that's going to look like when you have these pieces in place. Do you think it's an immediate success potentially here for somebody to turn this franchise around?
Immediate success. I think they've got like really good pieces. The problem is they're all broken. They're all just scattered around, and they're going to have to try to pick them up. I mean, the first thing is like I just did not have on my bingo card that Mike McDaniel would have his job still when Daboll didn't, but they also were able to pull off a really good surprise. Second off, though, I just don't like. I wonder if this had to come from something bigger, because I feel like one of the worst things that keeps happening in the NFL for years and years and years is like you get this like great talented young quarterback. They come in, and then what happens? They stink because they're young and the offense and they're building, and then they fire everybody. And like Alex Smith went through like 3 or 4 coordinators in his first 4 years. You hate to see that with young guys, but the hope would be here, instead of just being like, oh, we got to, he's not winning games or whatever, your 60,000 thing, is that he was actually a hindrance to the actual development. Like, and that could be a case. Hey, you got a concussion? Get back in there. Like whatever he was doing. I just hope this move was developmental based, and not just like, well, we have to win games because we're the Giants, because this whole burning and churning different coordinators, I think it's really bad for the development of quarterbacks in general. But he's such a raw piece here. Dude just runs and runs and runs, and they got to get him to making better decisions. So hopefully they bring in somebody good. I don't think I'm surprised by this whatsoever, but I don't know. It puts a little bit of a highlight on Jackson Dart for me long term, because I hate seeing young quarterbacks just burn and churn through coaches and coordinators.
Yeah, Boggs, I think it's a job people would want for sure. It's New York. You do theoretically have a young quarterback. You have a young superstar wide receiver. You have Cam Scatterbo. You got some talent. Abdul Carter. Like, there's a lot of talent on this roster. It's a big franchise. I wonder too if this is what the third time now evaluated for concussion for Jackson Dart. There's a certain point where the coaching takes over and says like, "Hey kid, look, this isn't college anymore. These guys are big. They're going to knock you out. You need to learn to slide. You need to preserve yourself for the good of the team." I think that's where coaching comes in. And I think there's maybe the GMs or the people above going, "Hey, if we don't do something here and change the tone of this, we're going to wreck the future we do have." To me, when Jackson Dart came out of that game for another concussion, again, is it his fault? No, but is he somehow culpable for not practicing a little bit more that idea
Patience.
of, look, Jackson, you got to make sure that you protect yourself a little bit more. We need you. You're too important to this team. You've got to change the style of play, and that is coaching.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has probably just as much to do with those terrible losses, gripping loss out of the jaws of defeat, right? It probably has just as much with Daniel Jones having wild success with the Colts, right? You have a quarterback that you bring in, supposed to be your franchise guy. You draft him higher than people expect. Doesn't work out at all. He's a joke, blah, blah. And then he goes to Indy and is now an MVP candidate, right? Like he keeps winning over there. Saquon went and became an MVP candidate immediately somewhere else, right? So it's those things combined with the fact that they aren't changed. Nothing has changed in New York. The results have not changed. It may be more fun, right? Jackson Dart's more fun. Malik Neighbors is a developing star. You probably have your running back if he's healthy next year, and Cam Scatterbo. So you have pieces to this. You have a good defensive line. The pieces are better than how they played, though. So I think Daboll is the problem here. I think this was an appropriate firing, and I think that it was either going to happen now or at the end of the year, so why not just rip that Band-Aid off and see what you got for the rest of the year. And I think you were about to lose the locker room pretty quick.
No, I
here.
agree.
I think that's the real issue is
whenever
players are about
right?
to give up.
Why
Right.
does he
Yeah,
Winston
what's
at this
left
point,
of it.
too? Like, why do we have to see Russell Wilson? I don't understand. And thanks for welcoming me back, everybody, too. It was nice to have I always take a bye week once in the season here, so I appreciate all the positive tones here. I know Stink had a question. How was the butterbeer this time of year? Excellent. I had myself a frozen butterbeer and a regular standard one on the trip. It was very good. Got to spend some time. Saw the Epic Universe. I'll play a little Mario Kart. Fun ride. Very good time. I got to say, that's a good time there. So, but we're back in action here. A lot of people asking questions, too, about Bucky Irving and obviously having some feelings. WTF should we do with Bucky? Boggs, why don't you take this one? Obviously, people were hoping he'd be back after the bye. That did not happen. We kind of warned about that might be the case. So, at this point, is like Sean Tucker a streamable guy for you potentially this week? You want to pick up just in case?
Yeah, I mean, well, you're not dropping Bucky, right? Like I keep him.
No.
I keep him to the end of the season. That's Bucky is a Titanic pick, which means you go down with the ship here, right? You're not cutting him. He's one of your first two picks. So, all we can do is wait and see when he comes back. I mean, I know that's not what you want to hear, but I don't know that it's going to be soon anyway. I've seen the fantasy docs and Deepak talk about this, right? Like, this shoulder injury seems to be worse than what they let on, and obviously he's missed more time than we thought. But does that mean he's going to be back soon? I have no idea. They're being pretty coy. Yeah, please jump in.
Well, I mean, they're not necessarily being coy. They're just being nothing. The reason this is probably coming up in the chat is because within the last hour, Todd Bowles said Bucky remains without a timeline to return. Right. So I think that's why this is coming up. So it's not like they're just being like, we don't know. So yeah, that does leave into question somebody. I think there's a fact or fiction, so I'll kind of ruin it, but we don't want to go back to Bucky later. Someone was like, fact or fiction, Bucky doesn't play this year. I had been kind of in the space that he would. But guys, we're in week 11, and Todd Bowles is saying there's no timetable whatsoever. I'm starting to feel that you're not going to get him for the fantasy regular season, and I don't know about the playoffs at this point. Yeah.
Who plays more games rest of season, Bucky Irving or Chris Godwin, Welsh?
What the hell's going on with Chris Godwin? Where the hell is he? He's not a milk carton.
We were told that he would be back.
Bucks are turning the Niners.
Well, but we were told that he would be back. You know, they're gonna 4 weeks to start the year, and then hopefully work him back in the weeks 5 and 6. It's week 11, okay, and we still don't have any clear path for him. And
I think Godwin. I think it's Godwin at this point. They literally said
I think
this morning
Bucky.
they don't know what's up, but they don't know what's going on with Bucky. They don't even probably know where he is.
Does Chris Godwin have a leg? I mean, can he physically stand up right now? Like,
he's got one.
I just, I don't know that either of them play unless they get to the playoffs. I think this might be out for both of them. So, I mean, listen, you hold on to Bucky because if Bucky plays and gets his full run, he's a game changer. I just don't know, even if Chris Godwin comes back, if we care at this point, right? What is he? He's a wide receiver 3, a wide receiver 4, whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I'll hold out hope for Bucky, but I don't have much hope for Chris Godwin for the end of the year.
Now, I thought I would be the Joe returning that everybody was excited about, but really it's not, because Joe Burrow apparently is going to start to practice again. Wrong Joe. Yes, Joey P's back, but Joey B is really obviously the one that everybody really wants to talk about. So let's talk about that, because that was a bit of news here that I think none of us were really anticipating getting. It came over, this afternoon. We're recording this on Mondays. This is like our Monday morning quarterback kind of show here, or Monday afternoon, depending on the time zone you're in. And, we were thinking, okay, maybe Christmas time, the mid-December, that's what we were hearing. And all of a sudden he's saying that he could be back potentially on Thanksgiving night. That's his target. That's huge. If that is the case and he is going to make it back that quickly. Now, again, I know Welsh just made a face there thinking, I'll believe it when I see it. But this is Joe Burrow, and he is a crazy guy, and it's certainly, a healthy Joe Burrow goes a long way. The question is that the Joe Burrow we're getting potentially? So, Welsh, let's talk about this, because obviously Bengals on a bye this past week. You've got a couple weeks. In a way, I'm a little heartsick for Joe Flacco because he doesn't get his second chance around against the Ravens on Thanksgiving. I was looking forward to that, but I'd rather have Joe Burrow back. So, do you believe that this is possible? I mean, you can even turn it into a fact or fiction. Fact or fiction, Thanksgiving night, you're going to be eating turkey watching Joe Burrow play quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're kind of you're doing it like it's definitive. You're like, oh, it's sad he's not going to get to play. It's like, well, maybe he will. I don't believe this. I think they're going to do kind of similar to what, like, the Niners are doing. Well, maybe. But they're just like, unless the player's 100% healthy, they're not going to even screw with it like Brock Purdy. I think the same thing with Joe Burrow, because why not? Flacco has looked good. That Ravens game, the tough thing is, what is that, week 13 and 14? They're both road games, and it's the Ravens and then the Bills. So it's not like you can get Burrow back home, I think it's a matchup that Flacco will still run in. Here's what I'll say. Unless Burrow is 100% full practice all week, I do not think he's returning. And me personally, I think that's just being Pollyanna and optimistic. I don't think he returns in November. I think it's December where we can see him. But I'm not going to rule it out, of course, because what the hell do I know? He's the one out there, and he's the one that's going to be getting going. But I think I just don't think it behooves this team to press anything unless he is absolutely 100% set. Because if Browning was a quarterback, they might wheel him out this week. But it's not. It's Joe Flacco. He's getting it done. So I think it's going to be tougher.
What are your thoughts on the Joe Burrow potential return here, Box?
I mean, I think it might depend on, whether the results the next couple weeks, right? Like if they win the next couple weeks, then all right, let them sit one more week. But if they lose the next 2 weeks and maybe we're in desperation time, we're still trying. If we have a shot at a wild card, maybe we're still trying to pull for it. But I also I don't think they're going to be in that mix. So I don't think there is any need to rush him. So I'm with Welsh. I think it's probably more likely that first game in December than the Thanksgiving game. I think that's more likely.
All right, here's another question for you guys. The Bills are 6-3 and the Bears are 6-3. Which team is more of a fraud?
That's like that, John Daly smoking this cigarette in his weird pants in front of Tiger Woods meme. They're both 6-3.
I love that meme. Yeah, but you know what? Looking at it, I mean, the Bills' defense is not good. Josh Allen, did everything he could and then some. And when Josh Allen is try-hard Josh Allen ends up making some mistakes, and he did. But he has no help down the field. Like, he's looking for wide receivers down the field. He doesn't have any help down there. They did not do enough to address that. What would the spread be
if the Bills played the Bears in a neutral site right now?
Yeah, but you know what? It'd probably be the same as the Dolphins who just kicked the snot out of the Buffalo Bills. And I'm asking that question right now because I feel like the Bears aren't good either. But the Bears keep finding ways to win football games, and it's kind of odd because they don't believe in them.
Lose.
And the Giants find ways to lose. So, looking at some of these teams and some of the records right now, who is the biggest paper tiger? Let's put it that way. Of all the teams that have winning records, I mean, those are just two of them. I don't know if we want to say the Bucks after yesterday too. Is that another team you think is a paper tiger type team, or
the Steelers?
Well, okay. Well, you said it. I didn't. So go ahead.
I mean, it took +5 in the turnover margin to beat the Colts by 1 score. They only put up 10 points on the Chargers. Chargers are a good team, but I don't know. The offense looks disgusting right now. I'm probably just being super negative, but I also don't buy into the Bears, really. I mean, yes, same record as the Bills, but if we want to go in that direction, the Bills lost because Josh Allen turned the ball over too many times. I don't think he's going to do that on a week-to-week basis. I do not believe in the Bears at all right now. So just for the long term. Then maybe they get to the playoffs, but just like the Steelers, okay, you get in the playoffs and you lose by 30 in the first round. Great. That's not really a real contender to me.
Welsh, I got one other question for you. After the incredible performance again by Jonathan Taylor, who is now 3rd in the MVP voting, he's still behind Drake Maye and Matthew Stafford right now, where they're all kind of close and tied right now. Is there a scenario where we can get Jonathan Taylor as the MVP? Because it really hasn't been a great year for the quarterback position. I think we could all agree on that. There's been injuries, underperformance. I don't think anybody thought Drake Maye was going to be the guy at the top of the MVP board in Week 11, but that's where we're at. And look, Matthew Stafford could very easily lose next week to the Seattle Seahawks. I think that's a real possibility, and that would certainly put a huge dent in any MVP hopes for him. So why can't we give it to a running back this year who is literally carrying this offense and this team on his back? Another tremendous performance, 200-plus rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor's playing out of his mind this year.
Yeah, I mean, why can't we? It's just because it's quarterbacks. Could it happen? Sure, 100%.
If you had a vote, would you vote for him?
I got to be honest with you. I probably would go for Drake Maye. I mean, Drake.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's super close, but I mean, I know we're going to talk about it later, but the Patriots record is insane. I think if you look at the talent around the Patriots and you look at their record and what Drake May's doing, he is literally holding up this team. I think you could maybe make the argument on Jonathan Taylor as well. Jonathan Taylor's video game numbers. I think it's Drake Maye and Jonathan Taylor right now. So can JT do it? Absolutely. If he keeps on this run, I did this a couple weeks ago, that whole LT thing where you're talking about the amount of touchdowns. If Jonathan Taylor pushes like 25 touchdowns and goes over 2,000 yards, which he is well on his way to surpass, then I think he has to be in this discussion. The problem is if Drake Maye continues his I throw 2 touchdowns every single game, he's got like 35, 40 touchdowns. The Patriots are like 13 wins going in and maybe a bye. I don't know how people are not going to give it to Drake Maye in his second year. So I think it's those two. I think they're right there.
It's an incredible thing to think, and I know we're going to talk more about the Patriots in a second here because I know it's on some of our moments and takeaways, but it is stunning that, to think, like, I thought the Patriots would be a 10-win team. They've got 8 already. They have got a good schedule, and they've been winning games on the road, which is the May conversation. I want everybody who's watching right now on the Twitch, drop your MVP. I know it's only 10 weeks into the season, but right now, who would you give it to if you had a vote? I see a lot of mixed things. I see some people saying Taylor, some saying May. If you want to make a case for somebody else, I know there's people want to make a case for Sam Darnold, who's played very well this year. And look, that Seattle team is pretty good. And
do they all live in the Pacific Northwest? Who's
I don't know.
The case for Sam Darnold?
Hey, look, he is, I think, 5th on the board right now. Boggs, if you had to vote for MVP right now, not fantasy MVP, but
would it be
MVP,
Sam Darnold?
I mean, look, I would give way more consideration than Welsh would to Sam Darnold, but it's Jonathan Taylor. It's JT.
It is.
To me, kind of by a stretch. Drake Maye is right in there, but I mean, this dude is setting up. He's making Daniel Jones look good right now. Like, is Daniel Jones this good, or is this more of what you get when you play?
He's
going
to make Daniel Jones
JT?
More money than anybody. He
Absolutely.
should be his agent, basically. That's
We're seeing a stud running back in his peak right now, right in his prime, in the middle of it. And he's staying healthy, which has been the bugaboo for him over his career. It's been the ankle injuries and things like that. So if he can stay healthy the whole year, I think he's going to win it. Specifically, if the Colts win this division, I think he will win it.
Is there a chance Jonathan Taylor isn't the fantasy MVP if we're just talking fantasy? Is there anyone that is a better boon than what Jonathan Taylor is right now to your team?
Maybe CMC.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know, but Jonathan Taylor is just 3 touchdowns every single week. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's not close right now, but I think if you're asking me who else could get in there, because of the volume, it's CMC. Who do
the Colts play this week? Could we see negative money, minus money for 2 touchdowns for Jonathan Taylor? I think we had plus 125 a week ago. We legit might be, if it's like a Giants or like some just Dolphins garbage rushing defense, we might legit see minus money for 2 scores
Well,
for Jonathan Taylor.
I will tell you who they're winning this week. They're playing nobody. They're on a bye this week, and then they come back against Kansas City. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's still minus money to score a touchdown this week. It's very possible that even with the
on the bye week, he's minus 150.
He just does like old school, like ECW, just like shows up at games, grabs a ball, scores a touchdown, just starts invading everybody.
Like the Sandman. He just smashes a beer can on
drives
his head,
a tank into somewhere. I love it
with a kendo stick. By the way, our self-loathing producer Seth, who is a Bears fan, that's where the self-loathing comes from. The Bears' 6 wins have come against opponents with a combined record of 15-41. Great stat there from Seth. Appreciate that. So
that's a self-hating Bears fan.
It's the essence of it. All right, keep dropping your fact and fictions. We got a bunch of them loaded up. I want more of them. I want you to drop them in there. So fact or fictions, we're going to go through that in a little bit. But first, I want to do the takeaways, favorite moments of the week. Again, I hate this because I feel like a homer, but
because you are,
because I am. That's a huge win. Another road victory for the New England Patriots. I mean, we have to talk about it. You said it, Boggs. Like, he is playing great football. The moment when they were pinned back down in their own territory late in the fourth quarter, it was 3rd and long, and I thought for sure, they're going to play it safe, punt. And they didn't. He throws that deep ball to Matt Collins. That is a different New England Patriots team than I'm used to seeing, possibly ever, right? Maybe you got to go back to like some heightened, like Randy Moss era with Tom Brady moments for that kind of stuff to happen. Then you had Kyle Williams making that a big explosive play. That's the most explosive play they've had since 2021. If that tells you the Patriots have been bad finding playmakers, I don't know what does tell you that, if that doesn't. Then Trayveon Henderson, and Bogman and I are texting dirty. He's texting me, boy, it's nice when they give Trayveon the football, right? And yeah, it is. And it feels like all of a sudden they just uncovered this Ferrari that was, it's like this coming of age movie. It's like, hey son, I know it's your, last night of high school. I want you to go to a graduation party in this. And then, the dad pulls off. It's like, oh dad, you're letting me drive the Porsche or whatever it is. And there's Trayveon Henderson with fresh legs running all over the place. Unbelievable.
Just wait, all the victory laps are coming, by the way. I told you so about Trayveon Henderson. Week 10 that has happened. It's incredible. It's amazing. I'm glad, but victory laps are
Yeah, but we did tell you.
How many times did we talk about buying low?
But preseason victory laps.
Oh, that's fine. Preseason victory laps.
I told you to draft Trayveon Henderson in the 2nd round, and look.
7, 8, 9. I know on the TV show we have a segment on Sundays that I do about buying low. Twice in 2 weeks I said Trayveon Henderson because I just felt like we were, at some point, it had to unleash. And now that we've seen it, here's my question to you, Boggs. If you have Ramondre Stevenson on the team, do you just cut him? Like, do you hold on to him just for insurance?
No, you have to hold on to Ramondre because we've all been saying this, like, just give the ball to Trayveon more and you'll have success. And they did it and it worked. It doesn't mean that Vrabel is going to say, right back to Trey Henderson. No, Ramondre's up. Let's get Ramondre out there. We saw sparks of this before, and then they just decided to go back to Ramondre. So absolutely not on dropping Ramondre. Like, I think it should be more Henderson now, but we all thought it should be more Monangai, and the Bears went right back to DeAndre Swift, right? So, I just you just cannot do that right now. So, no, I think it should be that way, but, wish in one hand and, what in the other and see which one fills up first. So.
Joe, let me ask you, how many games this year has Drake Maye thrown for under 200 yards? He's played 10 games.
I would say 3.
Under 200 yards.
Yeah, 3.
Zero games.
Oh, wow.
How many games of 10 has he thrown for 2 or more touchdowns? Of the 10.
7?
9.
8.
8. Wow.
And he has done 8 of his last 9 games. He has thrown for at least 200 yards, more like 250, and had 2 or more touchdowns. He's ridiculous.
He is ridiculous. And here's the thing, too, and I'm sure everybody who hates the Patriots is going to love this. They're all on rookie contracts. Johnson, him, Trayveon, right? I mean, Kyle Williams, like all these guys, they're all rookie contracts, which means these guys, they have cap space for a while. They got a young, dynamic head coach. And look, I understand why a lot of people hate the Patriots for years. I get it. Sick of them, tired of them. This is a very likable team. Like they're good in interviews. They're fun on the sidelines. They seem like they really like each other. It's a different vibe. Like they're a fun vibe. And I think that's very interesting to watch too, is that, and credit to them, again, a huge road win. So we'll see how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers bounce back. Tampa versus Buffalo this week, boys. That's going to be one to see because those are 2 teams that really need to get on the board with a W here. They've both lost a couple games out of the last 3 games, and they need to get some dubs. Welsh, what's your big takeaway from the week that was?
So I had a crazy weekend of week of my shows, filling in for Joey, and doing
which I appreciate greatly.
a baseball conference and a live baseball conference. I did a live show this weekend, which will be up on MLB, and I was around a lot of our friends and industry people. And Thursday night was the same thing. A lot of people asking about you two. Where's Pisapia? Where's Bogman? People wanted you there. So I'm mingling and I'm having a great time, and I'm occasionally kind of looking at the Thursday night football game, and then I'm doing my stuff, and I get in my car and I'm heading home, and I look. And I thought my phone wasn't refreshing, and then I realized the scores were the same. And here's and this is a Bogman take, and I'm just because I don't want to be like, this is my original take here. I'm taking what Bogman has said, and I'm fully going with it. Shoot the Thursday night football game into the sun. Stop playing it. It's dude. First quarter to third quarter, I'm like, this isn't refreshing. This is the biggest pile of garbage game. I wish I would have went back and just talked baseball. Why even play it? Absolutely atrocious and gross. Can you imagine betting on that game?
There have been some fun ones. I mean, the Eagles Giants was
one.
fun. There's been a bunch of upsets, so there's fun ones this year.
Stop that, Joe. Stop it.
All right.
Look, we love talking football at any point when football is on. We love doing the Thursday night show to cover the Thursday night football show. But there is no reason for Thursday night football to exist outside of just being a money grab. It's gross. It really is gross. The players do not get enough time to rest. The quality of the product they put on the field is garbage, and I can't take it. Thursday night football is fine if your team's coming off a bye week. If your team is coming off a bye week, fine. Let them play Thursday night football. But it should only exist in the bye week window so you can have fresh legs and put a good product out nationally to your audience. What they put out on Thursday between Denver and the Raiders is a disgrace. It was a disgusting game, and I agree 100% with the Welsh. This should be shot into the sun, and I think he did this just so I would get rolling here.
Yeah, I was about to say, and that was my take. And that was my take, by the way. Yeah.
Thursday,
I can't listen to anyone defend it. That was the issue. Like, I was quiet while you were doing your take, but when Joe started to defend it, I can't hear it.
I want to defend it. Like, I like standalone football. You know that. And then some of the games this year have been like,
Then do it on Saturday night.
Like the Rams 49ers upset was fun. The Giants upsetting the Eagles was a wild,
Two
fun
Monday night
game.
games. I like 2 Monday night games. Is
Two
fine.
Monday night games. I don't have a problem. I like the 2 Monday night. I'm for it.
And break them up. One at 6, one at 9, whatever.
Moment of
Let's
Thursday
go.
night football again. Somewhere in Hogsmeade in Harry Potter world, I was drunk on
my
butterbeer.
God! I wish you could have taken that game to the Harry Potter universe and
Levioso that into the sun.
Yeah.
I'm on a
5 on my props.
All right,
Terrible.
So Boggs, what was your big takeaway from Week 10?
Yeah, I mean, the Jets are just going to have to ride Breece Hall until the wheels fall off. I think we're going to see a massive usage of Breece Hall here down the stretch because he's a free agent. They don't care about him. They cannot throw the ball. Justin Fields sucks. Tyrod Taylor apparently is never good enough to get on the field again, and they have no wide receivers. Garrett Wilson's going to miss multiple weeks. Mason Taylor's not getting the ball. Their leading guys in snaps was like Arian Smith and Tyler Johnson, and we didn't even see Adonai Mitchell out there yet. So they just have no other recourse but to hand the ball and throw the ball to Breece Hall as much as possible. So I think that is just going to be what happens with the Jets moving forward. We're going to have crazy volume for Breece Hall moving forward.
Boggs, you get to watch that Thursday night. That's right. Jets Pats Thursday night. Let's go. All right.
Over on Breece Hall touches.
What was your favorite moment of the week, Boggs? We'll start with you on this one.
My favorite moment was the lady reacting when Trayveon Henderson broke off his big run. Like, they pan up to the camera, and you can read her lips. I can't say what she said here
and
at
she had
all.
Kids around too.
She said it to her kid. And I was like, I know exactly what that was, and that was someone that's watched Trayveon Henderson and had no idea he had this in him. And he absolutely, I saw him do it against the Longhorns in the playoffs last year, taking a screen and housing it. So yeah, he was awesome. Finally getting him the ball, and the fans are recognizing it finally. So that moment was a lot of fun, and I keep seeing them replay it, and I'm surprised they're not
they're replaying
doing the cover over her mouth.
Nope, they're replaying
naughty language there.
So basically, to put it out there, basically she said, "Holy cow, There was
Yeah.
it was
Not holy. It was
Yeah.
holy cow. Right.
Yeah, holy cow, that's what it was. Mine was the Davis Mills diving into the end zone at the end. That was just a fun moment. I love when backup quarterbacks lead teams to wins. And you know what? I hate the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mike Glennon your favorite player?
I can never get a gauge. I should never, ever, and I didn't this week, but it just drove it home to me. I should never, ever, ever bet on the Jacksonville Jaguars one way or another. I've never figured them out my entire life. I have no idea what the Jags are, when they're good, when they're bad, indifferent, and that just drove it home. Because I thought for sure, I was like, well, backup quarterback, I know Houston's defense good, but they should win that football game. They should go in and beat that. They did not. They did not, but good on Davis Mills. Fun moment for him. I like when backup QBs get their moment in the sun. Welsh, who was the big moment for you from Week 10?
Oh, yeah, this is selfish. Because like Dredda said a really good one, the Rico zero pumps. And there's someone else that did it like within 2 minutes of each other. That was a great one. Yeah, the no pumps.
Zero pump was good. Yeah,
that was a cool moment. Mine was spending Sunday texting back and forth with Andrew Erickson because Dad was on vacation at Hogswort or whatever, and we got to do the Betting Pros show, just me and him.
Where was that?
I don't know. What is it? What is it?
You say Hogswort?
Hogsmeade?
Yeah, I thought you said Hogsword. You said
Squidward?
This guy over at Hogsmith.
You need some cream for that.
You're out in Florida, bruh. But on that show, I decided to bring out a little bit of a ladder, a little bit of a step stool, as it was called. And I had a bet on Dalton Schultz, and I laddered it. And when I said ladder, Erickson thought it was like I was going to 100. And I'm like, no, buddy, we're going to 50. Went 40, so his prop at 34, 40, and 50. And we're sitting back because I finally got him to bet on it because I took one of his bets. And Dalton Schultz drops a pass that would have got it. He's getting a target. He's getting 5 yards per carry, and we're just losing our mind. And if you follow it on Betting Pros, he then gets a 20-yard reception, which ensues me to start texting him, I am him, even though I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. But we hit
Great
the
work,
ladder
Welsh.
bet on Betting Pros, and me and him were just tracking it the entire time for Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz ladder. That's where we're at the point of the season. But we did cash it on Betting Pros, and that was my favorite moment because I had everybody just being like, "Where's Bogman? Where's Joey?" At this conference all weekend. So I needed a good win.
Well, it's nice that people are asking. That is very kind. But we all.
And then when I said you guys weren't there, they were like, "Oh, thank God."
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, speaking of not being here, I did get a text back from Mike Mayer. Everyone's doing great. Thanks so much. I'm such a wonderful friend. That kind of stuff. That's all. It's all here in the phone.
And shout out, by the way, to DVR, who, in the last week's show when you were not here, I had a very large bet that I asked everybody, would we ride or cash out? And we wrote it. And we did not win. And DVR during the show was like, check your email. I did not for multiple days because I forgot. And then sent a nice little Starbucks for me and the family for losing the bet, for literally losing the
nice.
CD bet. So DVR's the best.
Wait, so you made a coffee on a bet that you lost? That
Pretty much.
seems
Well,
like you
then I
won.
did. Yeah, it was.
I mean, it might be cheaper than the coffee. I mean,
was a
I was gonna say,
lot of
depends how
coffee.
much the coffee. Yeah.
I lost. I know it's Starbucks, by the way. I lost a lot of coffee on that bet, but at least DVR made it a little bit better. So thank you.
Well, that's good. Let's start with Factor Fiction. Actually, Factor Fiction here from our producer, Seth. Fantasy pros should be allowed to take over the Jets GM position because they clearly can't figure it out for themselves. I will say
Couldn't be worse.
Jets did a great job getting the 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. I thought that was an incredible haul for Sauce Gardner. I don't know what they're going to do with those picks, but good
Did
on
you get a
them.
first for Quinnen though too?
Yeah, they've got all these first-round
3
picks.
first-round picks. That's awesome.
I got all these fingers. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know.
Like a
Yeah,
big
you know what they
player,
can
man.
do is they can use them on offensive linemen that they've already used first-round picks on and still hasn't worked. So, yeah, they need a quarterback too, and now they need a middle of a defense and a premier corner. So, yeah, they can use some of these picks to get the players they just traded away.
I was about to
Great.
say it would be hilarious if they took a defensive lineman and then a cornerback with 2 of those 3 picks. Be like, good job, guys. You're doing good.
All right, here we go. Factor Fiction time. Keep dropping them in here. Let's start with DJ, Vince. Factor Fiction, Bucky and BTJ are definitely droppable. I'm going to say fiction on this one, guys. I can't drop them yet. I just can't. I can't imagine there's anything out there on the waiver wire that's going to help you more than the possibility
That's
of
the
those guys
thing.
helping you.
That's the thing, Joe, is like, can you drop them? Sure. What are you doing? You picking up Mac Hollins? Like, who are you getting
Tyler
on the
Lockett
wire?
for BTJ.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing is like, if
I like
you're
Tyler
in a
Lockett, but
super
not for
shallow
BTJ.
league and there's good options out there, great. But I'm not dropping one of these guys for Quentin Johnston.
In a 10-man though, maybe that might be fact in a 10-man. I'm just gonna say.
All right.
BTJ.
I mean, there's a possibility they don't play, so it'd be, you could look great to be the smart guy that dropped them earlier, but I just.
Did you read the question from this next user on YouTube? I don't want to read it out loud, but it's very
the one
funny.
that's up.
The username here.
Oh, the username. Say the username.
It took me a second.
Bill Bob teabagging.
Yeah.
Fact or fiction? It's hard trusting
likes
King Henry
tea.
as anything besides an RB2 in PPR. Welsh, fact or fiction?
Hard to trust Henry. Man, it's hard to. I would say fiction. I'm gonna say it's. I'm only going to say it's fiction because there's like a high touch and equity, though I will tell you, man, I needed that Derrick Henry touchdown, and then they're like, you know what we need? Justice Hill. But I just think he's still, like, his Lamar Jackson is, like, reestablished back into this. I want to say this is a fiction because we know he can go off for 150 and 2 touchdowns. Most of the time, the red zone is giving to him. I know what you're saying here, and you're not wrong. Like, it also might be. And the reason I hesitated because it's like maybe he is just like a high RB2. But when I see that you can only trust him as an RB2, I want to say no because it's still King Henry in that offense. They have no defense. They're going to have a million offensive opportunities. I just would love for them to get these other schmoes off the backfield and just let Derrick Henry do all the great stuff.
Tough matchup against the Browns is like the Browns are bad, but their defense is still pretty good, and they're on the road. But after that, it's Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals. So I think Derrick Henry is going to be okay. In that
interesting
stretch,
buy low then with that schedule, especially if you want to wait a week because the Cleveland usually gives him a hard time anyway. And they've been good at home. There's no doubt about that. All right, fact or fiction? Dobbins' injury makes Harvey a league winner. Boggs, fact or fiction?
It could. Yeah, I would say fact. I think Harvey is going to get a nice run here while Dobbins is down. It's just how long is Dobbins going to be down? So he definitely can be a league winner if Dobbins misses so long. But we'll see
Welsh, how about you on this one?
The prognosis is.
A league winner. Yeah, I think it's just dependent. If Dobbins is just gone, I would actually say yes. Then Harvey. But you know what? You know why he's not like a league winner? Because this is the same thing of Trayveon Henderson. If I start seeing celebrations of I told you so's about RJ Harvey, I just know. Like, it was 8 weeks of blah, and he was cuttable. And then finally he started getting those touchdowns and having some equity in the offense. So I think he's too high to have been a league winner. Whereas a league winner is where someone gave up on him and you were able to pick him up. So I don't know. Maybe I'm being too technical about this stuff. Like, yeah, sure. If he's the only solo back, that offensive line is really great. He's going to be awesome. But I feel like that allows too many victory laps on RJ Harvey. And it's like, you don't get to do it in week 10 for Trayveon and RJ Harvey. You
just anti people celebrating their wins.
It's only
Welsh
that.
hates your joy, everyone.
Nope. That's the only. And Bogman knows
Stop
this about
with your
me.
joy. Get it
I
out
have been
of
like
here.
this for years. The only thing I don't like is when someone is a pile of trash for 8 weeks and then they're good for 2 or 3, and then everyone's like, I told you so. And it's like, well, dude, we were cutting and couldn't play the guy.
But wait a minute. Like, we do the baseball show together for years. There's plenty of guys that have bad first halves, and we're like, it's still a good player. Let's buy in on them. And then they have monstrous second halves. So, like, what's the difference? We're at the halfway point.
But Harvey, here's the difference. Harvey and Trayveon have not been startable for 8 weeks. They have not been. You've started them and you've lost. Then we said you have to bench them. That's in
fair.
baseball, it's a little bit of a different thing.
It's the individual categories in baseball. It's one win or one loss in football. So
and guess
if
what?
you're
your
not
pitcher,
good for 4 weeks, then
if
you
you're
lose,
playing
then
points,
it doesn't matter.
like I play, it is win-loss.
Okay, but your pitcher stinks after 3 weeks. You're cutting him unless they're like a top 10 SP.
Well, Sandy Alcantara, for instance, he was awful in the first half. Second half of the year, last couple months, pretty good, actually, pretty useful. But
but you don't. But you don't get to celebrate when they ruined you for a full half a year. No. It's a little thing. I'm not an accountability buddy and all that type of stuff. I don't care about all of those things. The only thing always has been where someone is an absolute nothing for 7 weeks and everyone's like, gotcha, this whole time.
Well, then you're gonna love this next question. RZ Henderson is the genie that can't be put back in the bottle. I'm gonna say fact on this. I'm sorry,
fact.
There's no way everybody, like, to Bog's point earlier, you hold on to Ramondre as insurance, but
Kyle Monangai should have been this also, and he wasn't. That's the thing.
Wasn't.
It's we
But
think.
this is so obvious, Boggs. I feel like this one, like the last 2 weeks, is just so eye-opening.
But everybody that watched him in college thought it was obvious from week 1, Joe.
Yes, but I think, look, maybe Vrabel's just a mad genius here, where he was like, you know what? We're going to have the freshest legs of any running back, and guess what? When it gets cold in New England in November and December, we're going to have a guy who's going to run the football down your throat and make these big explosive plays. But the fact that it's been 2021, it's almost 5 seasons since you had an explosive play from the New England Patriots, that tells you everything. Like, you need this, okay? You need this. This is how you win games. And I think we all agree the genie cannot be put back in the bottle there. Yeah, hum away, baby. Hum away. All right, here's another one. This is absolute fake. DJ, fact or fiction, Joe Flacco keeps the job if Burrow comes back. No.
Fiction.
No, that's absolute fiction. There's no doubt about that one. We already talked about Jonathan Taylor being MVP, but here's an interesting one. Fact or fiction, Egbuka is better than JJ, Justin Jefferson, rest of season. Welsh, this is salty. I think this might be fact.
I'm going to say, I want to say fiction.
Faction?
Faction.
It's the faction. This is the DX faction. Dude, see, here's the problem. Like, Naylor's getting involved. Addison is there. They've got the targets. Tampa Bay doesn't have anything else right now. You know what? Okay, I'll go fact. I'll go fact.
I think
it's a fact because JJ McCarthy has not straightened out yet. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing to me is that JJ McCarthy just, we should have been going through this early in the season, these growing pains, but because he missed so much time, we're going through them now. So I think the issues for McCarthy extend, deep into the season here.
Here's a fun one. Fact or fiction from Schmitty. Thursday night football or overseas
Thursday
football?
Dude, up until this Berlin game, I would have said the international things are just piles of.
I don't like either of them. I'll say that. But I'll say that I dislike overseas football more because I refuse to wake. I refuse to wake up for it. Like I
love it because as an East Coaster, it's football in the morning. It's fun.
It's football our time. Like
as a vampire, I like to sleep in.
From the Goonies for a second. There, it's our time. It's our time down here. This is where we are.
It's our time in Berlin.
Axel, fact or fiction? Drake Maye over Josh Allen rest of season. Boggs.
Fiction. It's fiction. It's still Josh Allen to me. But will they be really close? Yes. Is it a coin flip? Sure. It could easily go to May, so it's at least close. But I'm still going to bank on Josh Allen not playing like he did against the Dolphins the rest of the year.
Well, I think this one next year. Fields is a non-roster player next year. That's fiction. He'll be somewhere. Have we watched the quarterback play around the league? He'll be somewhere. Probably not the Jets.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking starter for a second. Yeah, he'll have a team, but it won't be as
Kyle Allen
starter.
Has a job. He'll have a job.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there you go.
Adrian
All right, let's
Martinez
take a look at
the third quarterback. Yeah,
3-1-1 contest is getting tight. Let's look at the leaderboard here. I am at 8, tied with Bogman on the year. Welsh is at 6, so Bogman got Jared Goff this week. Welsh got Drake London. I got 0. JSN missed by a couple. I could have had 2.
Excellent.
Lamar missed by a couple yards for 300. He had 290 something, and JSN had like 94 yards. So not great, but that's okay. We're back at it. So this week for my 3-1-1, I'm going with Baker Mayfield against the Buffalo Bills. Him and Emeka Egbuka. That's my 300-yard pass from my 100-yard receiver. And I'm losing my patience a little bit. Tyler Algiers really kind of twisted me into some knots recently, but Bijan Robinson against Carolina Panthers, over 100 yards, I think. I don't feel great about it. I'm going to be honest. Welsh, what's your 3-1-1 for week 11 in the NFL?
By the way, you weren't here for me. You didn't know that bet we were talking about that I let ride. It was a 3-1-1 bet. I had hit Sam Darnold, Christian McCaffrey, and we needed CeeDee Lamb to get 100, and he got 85. And he had a chance at it, too, at the end, which was brutal. I wish I would have taken them all in the 3-1-1 contest because I would have at least got 2 points instead of 1 last week. This week, I am going to go with Joe Flacco. And I wrote Cincinnati. Aren't they going up against your Pittsburgh Steelers, Boggs?
Yeah, he plays for Cincinnati.
He plays for Cincinnati.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I wrote Cincinnati, but that was in my head. But I
really like Cincinnati.
I really do, but I really like Joe Flacco slinging the ball against Pittsburgh.
They serve, right? The Cincinnati with the chili on the pasta
Skyline.
Thing.
No, not a chili guy. No, wouldn't be. Definitely not that type of.
On your hot dog.
On your toilet after, so no thanks. Joe Flacco versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers giving up a bunch in the air still. I'm going to go with Rico Dowdle. Atlanta's actually given up the 4th most rushing yards per game on the year. Rico gets to eat as the Panthers try to keep winning games. And I know Bogman's got this guy, but I'm tailing because I want to sweep it. Jamar Chase, I'm pairing with Joe Flacco against the Pittsburgh Steelers because Jamar Chase, all the targets. Your Pittsburgh Steelers corners struggling. So Rico, Flacco, and Jamar Chase for me for this week.
Let me tell you, that Atlanta-Carolina game, if that's not 4 outcomes, I don't know what is. We saw Carolina mop the floor with them. I feel like Atlanta should, give it right back. If this went under, it wouldn't surprise me. If it went grossly over, it wouldn't surprise me. I still can't believe Carolina lost at home to the Saints. Like, it was just Carolina.
I had them in a Survivor. We had them in the Survivor.
Oh, Fitzy did too, and he got eliminated. He told me about it this morning. So,
and everybody else had Buffalo. So
we do. We have it's a 3-strike Survivor. So we actually luckily we have 2 strikes now, but we got 1 strike this because we have to pick 2 every single week, and unfortunately Carolina.
A lot of people got
alive.
The axe dropped on them.
Half the league got the axe. Everybody has got at least one.
I like
and
that.
most
I
have
like
2.
the strikes. That's actually fun.
It's actually very fun. I completely agree with you.
It's not over in week 3 like most of them are.
Yeah, like I've won a bunch of those over my life, and then like this last 2 years have been brutal for me. Like I was out. I think of this year I was out in week 3 or 4. And I was like, oh man, just brutal.
Yeah, we got our first strike in week 4 because of the Niners.
Yeah,
but then we coasted
I think that's exactly
since.
what it was. It was 4 against the Niners. All right, so Boggs 3-1-1 this week. What do you have?
Yeah, we're going to go Josh Allen versus Tampa Bay. I just don't think Tampa Bay gives a lot of running room, so Josh Allen is going to have to pass to keep up with Baker Mayfield and that strong Tampa Bay Bucks offense. For the running back, Devin Achane in Madrid against Washington with no Deron Payne in the middle because he took a swing at Amon-Ra St. Brown out of nowhere. So he's going to be suspended for this game. The interior of that defense is ripped up. You can see there was not a lot of effort last week either. I think Dan Quinn might be gone at the end of the season as well. They just look lost right now, specifically on defense. Washington, so Achane with a big game in Madrid. And then, Joe, I don't know how you take anybody but Jamar Chase to get 100 yards. After he had 2,000 targets on Thursday Night Football against the Steelers earlier and 400 receptions and 10,000 yards.
You're right, but if he doesn't and I get mine, then I'm pulling ahead of you guys. So it's probably stupid. Are you saying that you will allow me to change it and we're just going to ride or die, the 3 of us together on one? What you want to do?
Whatever you want to do.
That's not good television. That's not good TV. I'm going to go
separate.
Thought
you already picked. I thought that those were the rules.
I'm good. I picked. I'm done.
If you don't believe in rules, that's fine.
Or society.
Well, that's a story for another time. I want to thank everybody for joining us live on the Twitch. Again, twitch.tv/fantasypros. We're fancy over there now on Twitch. We're a partner, so we're a big deal. I don't know if you realize that. So shout out to our whole team there for making that work, too. Very cool stuff. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, it's Scott Bogman. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. This has been Out of Bounds. Hey, guys, what do you think of Wednesday Night Football? You want to do that instead?
Nope.
No? How about Tuesday?
Yeah, that's called Maction. We already have that.
I see.
How about just 7 days a week?
Pretty soon?
Let's do that.
Pretty soon. You're going to